everybody to the Wild Wild West. A state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Back a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon. Now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pay. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah. West Coast.
To the All-American Savage Show podcast. I'm your host, John Burke. My beautiful heterosexual bearded life partner that's also Jewish. Did I already say Jewish?
Yeah.
Did I tell you he's Jewish? He's Jewish. He's very Jewish. We joke about it a lot because apparently you can't joke about the Jews. That was a little bit of the Dr. Dre, who is not a doctor, by the way, and I'm offended he even claims to be, which is just, ugh. And apparently, this just in, Snoop Dogg is actually not a dog.
Get out of here.
Weird. No, there's a reason that I wanted to open the show with old Dr. Dre there is Dr. Dre, he's just a little bitch. He's just a little bitch. Now, look, I am no fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm really not. But, dude, Marjorie Taylor Greene, as we talked about yesterday on the show, on her Twitter, had posted a video. I don't know who drummed up this idea, what depths of the retardation sea they dove in to, like, just scrounge this idea from under a rock. But it was like a shot of Marjorie, like, walking out of her office, walking down the hallway, escorted out by cops, whatever. And that was literally it. And it's like, we're coming, or we're about to do work. And it had the opening lyrics to one of Dre's songs. And, you know, it was cringe, whatever. Not that big of a deal. Kind of stupid, but whatever. You know, I've seen Crenshaw do gayer stuff, but okay. No, he did, bro. Like, oh, it's bad. Like, whoever directed that, she's like, dude, this is cringe. Stop doing this.
Like, come on.
But, so apparently, on Twitter, the licensing for the music was, or the background music was suspended because of a apparently violation. And the owner apparently made a claim that, it was Dre. He didn't like that. And the article basically says, I don't license my music to politicians, especially someone as divisive and hateful as this one. Now, folks, I would like to kind of take you back. And there's this amazing song that says, now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Pack a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. And pimps be on a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money-making machines serving friends.
Is that Dre talking?
Is that
John Burke or is that Dre?
I know. I often get confused for being a rapper sometimes. They call me the Great White Dope. Cracker, taste these Skittles. Something, I don't know. Eminem can suck my left nut. This coming from Dre, who says, I don't license my music to divisive hate. Bro, this is funny, but it's also cause for alarm that the black-dominated hip-hop industry that is notoriously, promoting of, the glamorization of drugs and alcohol, the degradation of women, just the underbelly of society, if you will, that the woke mob agenda has even brought the likes of Dr. Dre to heel. Oh, yes. When the rainbow hair lesbians snap, Dre answers. That's the truth right there. This guy comes out there and says, I don't license my music. Dr. Dre accused Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene on Monday of copyright infringement after she used the instrumental of his song, Still Dre, in a video shared on Twitter. The nearly 2-minute video, which has now been removed from Twitter, reportedly showed Greene walking around the halls of Congress in slow motion to this song. That is just, bro. Did Milo put her up to this? Because that's some gay shit. That's just gay. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Man, she didn't do herself any favors.
No, she's really not.
She's like, what can I do to make myself look like a douchebag?
The video also showed Greene taking a phone call from Donald Trump, presumably a reference to former President Donald Trump. Lawyers for the rapper and producer sent a cease and desist letter on Monday, and he also weighed in with a statement to BuzzFeed News. He says, I don't license my music to politicians, especially someone as divisive and hateful as this one, Dre said. Lawyers for Dre, whose legal name is Andre Young, accused Greene of wrongfully exploiting this work through the various social media outlets to promote your divisive and hateful political agenda. This is the same guy that basically got Eminem his start, where he rapped about throwing girlfriends in a trunk, murdering, calling people faggot and stuff like that. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, the history of your song lyrics, the history of your bullshit will be known for a very, very long time. Like, everything you've done has left its impact on the society, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. And you want to talk about being divisive? Like, here's the thing. I don't get the lyrics of this shit is fucking cool. I'm not like trying to bash that aspect of it. Yeah. But don't you sit there and try and pretend like you've got some kind of high ground here, some moral superior high ground. You're a fucking thug. But quite honestly, you're like a cream puff at this point. Like, I'm sorry, even Eminem. Line in the sand, won't cross it, because Trump, grab on my nuts. Because, and what is it with these white artists and these black artists doing this? Like, when you rap and you put your hand on your balls and your nuts, and you're sitting there, like, I see country artists doing this too. Like, dude, you are such little bitches. You're sitting there, yo, check out my hand on my junk while I spit this beat. And I sit here and I look at this crap and I'm like, you people are some of the most fucking low class. And I'm sorry, I'll say it. I don't fucking care. People, you look at this as like, this is entertainment. You're grabbing your dick for what purpose? Does that make you sing better? Like, I could understand if like you were singing some kind of operatic thing, like you're grabbing your nuts to go high, like, oh, like I get that. That makes sense in a comedy kind of way. People don't like that John Burke's pointing out common sense things that they like because it's culture. That's not culture. That's fucking ghetto. I don't care if you like that or not. It's the truth. Grab it on your nuts and like these cowboy rappers, like, oh my God. When they blended hip hop and country and birthed the likes of fucking Luke Bryan, not Luke Bryan, these douchebags like lady, I don't remember their names half the time anymore because of Georgia Florida Line. Like, what happened to country music? What happened? I'm just going to go on a bitch fest real quick. What happened to the Waylon Jennings, the Johnny Cashes? Like, I'm kind of glad that they didn't make it through to this day and age, because you look at Willie Nelson, that dude turned to a bitch, but he's always kind of been a bitch. He's just been the pot-smoking little fucking nerd in the corner with the dreadlocks or the braids. It's like, it's just fucking Willie, but Willie's a bitch, so whatever, we just don't fuck with Willie. But can you imagine, like Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, George Jones, the country greats, even Marty Robbins, who wasn't really an outlaw kind of rebel. Mm-hmm. But you look at what country music has devolved into, and it's like, this is the most beta bitch shit. Half you fucking little douchebags that wear those cowboy boots have never even been on a horse, never even lived on a farm. I don't know what the hell happened. But new age country, I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. You listen to the shit, it's like Taylor Swift. She started out country and then she went mainstream pop. And it's like, ugh, no. Oh, God, no. Just these people. And you know what it is? It's this culture that has been created in that rich elite society to where you're in the upper crust. You live in a different world, folks. They live in a much different world than you and I do. And it's crazy to me that they think the world operates in a whole different fashion because they get treated like kings and queens. So they don't understand what it's like to be here in the real world, how the real things actually operate. They don't get that, and they never will. I remember that old song. It's not even that old. It was, I think it was Mark Chestnut and Tracy Bird, I think. Was it? Yeah. It talked about there ought to be a law about cowboy rap, something about this new age crap. And they were right. There ought to be a law against cowboy rap and then boy band crap. It's like, dude, they're right. They were right. Mm-hmm. But to go back to my original statement, and you made a good point prior to this, you know who I probably think wouldn't be caving and taking a knee to the woke outrage mob? Tupac.
Yeah.
I don't think Tupac would have done it. I think Tupac would have like blazed and said, fuck these nerds.
I like to think so anyway.
I like to think so, yeah.
Him and Biggie.
Yeah. Oh, Biggie definitely wouldn't have. Biggie definitely would have. I mean, Eminem,
you wouldn't think
Eminem
Dre
bent the
or
knee.
Ice Cube. You know, Ice Cube is kind of the...
Ice
I mean,
Cube
you can tell he's a
still-
Democrat, but he comes out and kind of, I don't know,
Ice Cube, I
crosses
think, is
over the center line.
He does, yeah. But then you got people like,
Even
these
Ice-T.
No, Ice-T went straight on bitch.
Yeah,
he went
he's
straight
a
on
full-on
bitch.
And that's a guy he was an actual pimp.
Yeah, what happened to these fucking dudes? You get rich, you
Yeah.
get so out of touch, and you just sell out.
I know, man.
Damn. Can't beat them hoes like you used to. People get mad at you now.
Yeah, I remember an HBO special he was a part of where it was a Pimp's Player, something like that, where they get a Pimp's Award, Pimp of the Year, something like that.
Yeah, do that now and see what happens. Yeah. Good old Dre. Cream Puff Dre. Look at this. You little fucking douche. Oh, my God. Last fight he was in was probably like his beautician. She probably overcharged him doing his nails or some shit for a manicure, pedicure combo. Fucking nerd. It is. I don't license my music to hateful politicians because I'm all about the love while I rap around beating women and putting slugs in chests. Like, do you hear yourselves? You fucking liberal little bitches. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, well, this episode is brought to you by ShellshockCBD.com. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. ShellshockCBD.com. We just blasted that on email today, letting you know about, hey, spend $50 or more at ShellshockCBD.com and get entered to win the brand new iPhone 14 giveaway at the end of this month. That's going all month long, folks. I'm going to rap about it. I'm sorry. Like, look, there comes a point in your life where you actually have to grow the fuck up. And you look at these beefs between rappers. It's like, so let me imagine if you were like an alien.
Do they have that? Is that stuff still go on?
Oh, probably not. That shit died off, I think. I mean, they were killing each other off and fucking East Coast versus West Coast, Crips, Bloods, just whatever. Yeah. It's like, okay, so you're killing each other because you wear a certain color. That makes sense. But no, eventually you kind of take a step back and you look at it all through the lens of somebody with, I don't know, a shred of fucking common sense. It's like, okay, so you're telling me that these two artists, or whoever the two could be, they don't like each other, so they write very hateful rhetoric in poetry format and then put it to a beat and then grab on their testicles and then swing their hands in the air like they are something, I don't know what this is. And this is how they diss and insult one another? Why don't they just fight? Or maybe it's because the feud draws in money.
A good old-fashioned fist fight.
Good old-fashioned fist fight. Whatever. Like I've said before, hip-hop has been one of the biggest downfalls of black culture in America that has basically influenced younger generations to resort to drugs. Things such as that, again, viewing women as sexual objects. Oh, this is true. It's all there. It's all there.
Do you think Tupac, you think his music was like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing was, like, let's look at the origins of it. You had these guys that were coming out there rapping about what the life was actually like in the ghetto. That's like, fair enough. Cool. You're describing an experience. Now you got mumble rap.
Mumble, yeah.
You look at the shit and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's this new age. I don't even know. Hip hop actually used to be kind of good. It used to be kind of catchy. Now it's just, you got to change the channel.
It was good.
It was. I mean, Tupac had great. Biggie had greats. I mean, fuck, even Eazy-E.
Yeah.
Eazy-E had a very Run DMC. You had a very Eazy-E had a very unique sound. Mm-hmm. What didn't he die of AIDS or something like that?
Yep, he sure did.
Didn't he? Yeah.
He was one of the early AIDS victims.
No joking. All joking aside, you think Fauci? That was the time of Fauci, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. Well, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but for those that don't know, the comedy duo and massive Trump supporters, Diamond and Silk, I believe Diamond of the pair passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
She was 51 years old. They hadn't really been posting a lot, and they were avid Donald Trump supporters. They did a few shticks here and there that were just really funny. A lot of people loved them because of just the comedy they brought to the table. But I don't know what I think she was 51 years old. There's been no press release as far as what caused it. Donald Trump made mention of them today on his Truth Social, shouting them out, if you will. And it's sad to see that. 51 years old. It's too young. That's way too young.
She looked way younger than that.
She did. They both looked very young.
Yeah.
But again, they were both very, very overweight. There's no telling what kind of complexities or complications they were dealing with in their health world. And of course, people were like, did they take the jab? I saw some people saying, yeah, they did do the jab. Like, I don't know. But, I would find it very ironic. Very ironic if she did take the jab and that's what caused it, and then Donald Trump, who created Operation Warp Speed, is sitting there giving him a shout out. It's like, bro, you kind of ushered in the way that killed them. if that's what caused it. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here because I saw on all the social media posts, people were like, yeah, they took the jab. I was like, I don't know if they did or not. I'm like, but it does bear questioning is this jab safe?
Yeah.
So there you go. But I'm not saying they did. I'm not saying they didn't. I don't know. Go do your own research. I'm just going by what I read in the comments. And of course, they haven't actually released the autopsy reports yet. So we don't know. And, even the thing is, even if it was the jab, they're never going to admit. They will never concede that. That would make Trump look horrific. Mm-hmm. Imagine your two largest supporters and one dies from your jab. I don't know. Just keeping it out there. But all right. Let's get into the news today, folks. In the city of Compton. Keep it rockin', Josh. I'm gonna beat that hoe, mama. My music is amazing.
Oh, sorry, wrong button.
No, I thought you could do the laughter one. Oh my God. Well, Dems dissed. Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, and Eric Swalwell confirmed to lose powerful positions. Several high. Oh, he does. He definitely he swallows well. The guy, he looks gay. He just looks gay. He looks like he got beat up a lot and stuffed into lockers when he was a kid.
Yeah,
fucking
Eric
nerd.
Deep Throat.
Eric Deep Throat. I can't. I'm scared to go into the house. There could be a shooting because they removed the metal detectors. Yeah. Well, then carry a gun, you bitch. How about that? If you're so afraid, what are you tweeting about? Go get a gun. Go get a gun.
Eric cradles balls.
Several high-profile House Democrats are poised to be removed from their coveted committee assignments as Republicans take control of the lower chamber and usher in a new era of priorities, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy confirmed on Monday. McCarthy has long vowed to remove some Democrats from their top positions in retaliation for the removal of some Republicans for their committee. This is nothing new. It's the change of command, folks. It's just a change of command. But it's kind of cool to see because, Eric Swalwell, suck my dick, you're fired, bitch. Such as Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was stripped of all of her committees in 2021 as part of his plans. The Republican leader has specifically targeted Representatives Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, and Eric Swalwell. McCarthy confirmed to the Associated Press on Monday that the three would be stripped of their assignments, with Omar being ousted from the Foreign Affairs Committee, while Schiff and Swalwell will be removed from the Intelligence Committee.
It's amazing that those stupid assholes
were
on there anyway.
Yes. How the fuck? That's Democrats. That is Democrats. It doesn't matter how inept or retarded their own members are. Give them a position.
Yeah.
They just give them a position. And that's why if you look down through the history of, say, for example, England and the monarchy, there was nepotism was everywhere and you couldn't stop it because whatever the king wants, the king gets. But positions were awarded to friends like Duke of Sussex, Duke of all these things. Or I forget what was, you look at various different timelines, different kings and monarchs. And so it's kind of the same. It's a good representation in Congress that I wouldn't say really, it could be considered nepotism because it's kind of I feel like that's why a lot of big name Republicans were pulling for McCarthy because he promised them seats on certain committees.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how that still works and it still lives on in today's current government.
Yeah. Prince Andrew, what do you want?
Kids.
I'd like to be a pedophile.
God, kids. You got it, my man.
You got it, buddy.
The move is largely symbolic, as Swalwell was already due to be rotated off his committee, and Omar's assignment is subject to a House vote that would likely be rejected by the GOP majority. McCarthy first voiced the possibility of removing Democrats from their committee assignments in mid-November, shortly after Republicans won control of the House. He specifically hit out against Swalwell and Schiff, accusing the two lawmakers of being untrustworthy. Eric Swalwell cannot get a security clearance in the public sector. Why would he ever give him a security clearance in the Secrets to America? That's actually a very good point. You bang the Chinese spy, this guy in civilian world would never get a security clearance.
No.
But to be in Congress, the retardation of our government is fucking insane.
Yeah,
our government is so stupid. When you start seeing this shit, it's like, wait, so you're telling me a sitting congressman could not get a top secret security clearance in the civilian world, but if he's elected to a position of authority within Congress, then he's okay to go on this intelligence committee?
That's right.
Are you fucking what? What?
Yeah, I don't think they're stupid as much as they are corrupt.
Oh, it's corruption. It's not. You're right. It's not stupidity. It's corruption.
Yeah,
it is corruption at the highest level.
They're just corrupt scumbags.
Pieces of shit. You have Adam Schiff, who had lied to the American public time and time again. We will not allow him to be on the Intel Committee either. And this is the same guy, Adam Schiff, who was on the Intelligence Committee, that used Twitter to censor over 250, upwards of 300 Twitter accounts that were against the left.
It's like, that guy should be investigated. The amount of skeletons in his closet?
I can only imagine.
I mean,
can only imagine.
I wouldn't be surprised if he came out that he had some child porn on his computer. You know what I mean?
Dude, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, those guys are freaks.
Swalwell has been under scrutiny by Republicans after it was reported in 2020 that a suspected Chinese spy had developed relations with the California Democrat in what U.S. officials believe was an extensive political intelligence operation run by China between 2011 and 2015. A spokesperson for Swalwell said at the time he had not interacted with the operative in roughly 6 years, and the California Democrat has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Schiff has also been a target of the GOP over the last several years after he led hearings for former President Donald Trump's impeachment trial, during which the former president was accused of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Schiff has continued to elicit the ire of the GOP with his position on the January 6th committee, an investigation Republicans have denounced as politically motivated, 100% politically motivated, 100%. But, hey, the committee started, I forget when, and all that money spent in these witch hunts, and what came of it? We got Trump's tax returns. Well done, Congress.
I know.
Well done. Good job. You stopped what exactly? Nothing. It was a political hit job. Dude, when the history books reflect how this administration was run, this is by far the worst administration in the history of it. I can't think, outside of fucking Nixon with Watergate, I'd say this is 10 times worse, because Nixon didn't get 13 men killed, and a woman with the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. He didn't funnel money to Ukraine.
I mean, did his son participate in
child pornography and drugs? And
a natural gas company over in Ukraine?
In some weird way, probably, because they're all corrupt. And that's the other thing. Is I would never want to be a politician, because look at these corrupt pieces of shit. Fuck them.
I don't know, man. I think it just takes people to stop saying, I don't want to be a politician, and just pick up the mantle for at least 2 or 3 years to, prime the pump.
I don't know.
Because otherwise we keep getting the same shitheads.
Yeah, we do. Well, we got some good news here. Well, I don't know if it's good. I view this as very, I'm watching cautiously. House passes rules package, formalizes McCarthy's agreement with holdouts. Okay, I'll give it to him. They actually did it. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed. I like what I see. Hopefully this continues, but we shall see. This is not one of those of we were wrong. McCarthy's actually, no. Just keep watching and let's just see. Be paranoid. The House on Monday adopted rules for the 118th Congress, which comprise agreements made by now Speaker Kevin McCarthy and his Republican detractors during the last week's historic speaker battle. The rules package, which includes numerous changes to last Congress's rules, was passed nearly on party lines 2020 to 2013. Representative Tony Gonzalez, Republican out of Texas, was the lone Republican to join all Democrats in voting against the package. Changes made to the last Congress rules are aimed at reducing government spending, increasing legislative transparency, and shifting power away from leadership and toward rank and file members, as it should be. McCarthy said in a statement following the rules passage, rules that empower members to debate the legislation are replacing rules that silence their voice and centralize power. Rules that increase transparency are replacing rules that kept lawmaking hidden behind closed doors. And rules that reopen Congress to we the people are replacing rules like proxy voting that kept this floor empty. I like that.
Yeah,
I will say that's good. That's what our holdouts wanted. That's what they're getting, and it's true. And the thing is, we should be and I know it is, but you can go and you can watch these debates on the House floor. You can watch them, and as it should be. But the fact that you can do proxy voting, it's no. Mm-hmm. No, if you're going to be paid that salary, your butt needs to be in that chair.
Yeah.
These rules include keep net spending under the current level through the next 10 years. They require a supermajority to vote to pass tax increases, a 72-hour notice on legislation before it can be considered, and a one-member threshold to place a motion to vacate the chair, a rule that had been a point of contention last week as McCarthy Republicans opposers pushed to lower the threshold from 5 to 1. The rules exclude the option for members to vote by proxy and limit virtual appearances in committees to witnesses at the discretion of the committee chair. Proxy voting was implemented in response to the Chinese coronavirus in May 2020, but became widely abused by December of 2022. You don't say. The rules also make several changes to committees, including changing the Committee on Oversight and Reform to the Committee on Oversight and Accountability. They necessitate the consideration of two committee-related resolutions, one to establish a powerful select subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government to be housed under the Judiciary Committee, and one to establish a select committee examining the strategic competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party. More committees. Like, do you realize, like, the more committees we get, it's like, do we really need this? Like, if the free market was left alone, we would not have to worry so much. But there's so much government interference, then it's like the government's like, you know what, we're going to investigate why we fucked this up. It's like, why don't you just leave it alone? You know, it's kind of like that dad or like that husband with the wife that's been trying to fix it. You know what, just don't touch it, Janine. Don't touch it. I'll figure it out later. Just don't fuck with it. If that offends women, I don't fucking care. It's funny. It's a joke. Laugh, you pretentious cunts. Anyway. And that, folks, is why we'll never be on Fox. McCarthy spent weeks negotiating terms of the rules and making other commitments not including in the package in an effort to win over hardline conservatives, most of whom are in the House Freedom Caucus who had been opposed to voting for him. The negotiations culminated in an intense 4 days of back and forth last week before enough of the holdouts were convinced to hand McCarthy the gavel. McCarthy ultimately won the 15th round of voting, the most rounds since before the Civil War. Freedom Caucus Chair Representative Scott Perry said in a statement about Republicans' success in passing the rules package that the vote ratified a historic transformational aggressive. Okay, so here's the deal. Like Milton Friedman talked about, folks, it's not what the intent of the bill is, it's the outcome. So we shall see if this outcome is actually honored. Now, this rules package basically just sets forth the new rules for the House of Representatives moving forward until the next election. Okay, that's basically what this is. Cool. I like it. We can't get no more of the Nancy Pelosi's. It's interesting. It's interesting for Democrats versus Republicans. You look at the stark differences. Nancy Pelosi puts a bill out there, immediately sends it to be voted upon without anybody being able to read it. And she says, well, if you want to know what's inside of it, pass it first. Literally her words. If you want to know what's inside the bill, pass it and we'll see. That's basically a trust me, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. It's like, are you fucking high? There's just no way. So these are the rules moving forward that's been passed. Again, Republicans have the majority in the House, except Representative Tony Gonzalez out of Texas here, Republican. Is that fucking, hold on, let me see. I don't think it's the same guy I'm thinking of. Tony Gonzalez. Who's the other guy? I think he's out of El Paso. He's a congressman. He's a Democrat. The guy's just a fucking bleeding heart douchebag.
I think that pretty much sums up all of the Democrats.
That's true. No, this isn't the guy I'm thinking of. He's got like the pedophile fucking ponytail. He looks weird. He just looks really weird. He looks like he's had some fucking, he was like rode hard and put away wet. He does not look good. But there we go. McCarthy said in a statement following the rules package. All right, we read that. All right, so we're moving forward from that. Good to see.
Yeah.
Didn't think he'd do it. He honored it. Cool. That's a plus. He's still a fucking rhino. But that's awesome. They at least conceded that. But I mean, that got so much press, so much international attention. He had to. If he would have went back on that, that would not have been good for him. Then somebody.
It's common sense.
It's common sense. Yeah, it is common sense. And that's the other thing that just doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of like we had to negotiate. These 20 Republicans, again, kudos to them.
Yeah. But
they had to negotiate for these rules. Like that shouldn't be a negotiation. That should be something that we all fucking agree upon.
it should have never been that way. You should never be able to put together a 4,500 page omnibus bill.
Yeah.
Like 2 days before you're supposed to.
Not even 2 days.
What was it? Hours?
It was hours. It got sent to them at like 2:00 in the morning. And so we're voting on this today.
We're voting on this in 25 minutes.
It's like, what the fuck?
You want to peruse through. And then nothing in that omnibus bill was for the border.
Exactly, yeah.
Specific language saying.
But it can't be spent at the border, yeah.
None of this money can be used at the border.
And then you have
this
goes down there to
stupid
visit. Yeah.
old sack of shit goes down there.
Bro. Fucking just a pathetic thing.
Pathetic.
You're pathetic. You're fucking pathetic. All right, moving on. Good to see McCarthy hold true to his word. Of course, he had to, though. He was backed into a corner.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how this wasn't like, we negotiated this. Like, that's just been willfully given or like willingly given.
Yeah.
72 hours, shit. I would have been like more than 72 hours. You have at least 4 or 5 days to read this motherfucker.
How about like 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
I could see that too, because if you have like a 4,500 page, and that needs to be done away with.
Speed reader?
That's the other thing. It's like these bills, no more than 50 pages, single issue bills. That's it.
Yeah, break them up.
Break them up. That's perfectly. I'd be all for that. No more pork. It's like, look, this is a single issue bill.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, vote. So that way you can no longer use this this PR tactic of, say, for example, we put, okay, abortions are going to be legalized and we are going to defund the military. So a conservative's like, no, I'm voting negative. It's like, oh, so you voted against funding the military. It's like, no, I voted against funding abortions, but I'm for the military. But I like how you spun that. That's what they do. That's what Democrats and Republicans do when it comes time to voting for bills. It's like, well, so-and-so voted against it. It's like, okay, what all was in the bill, though?
Yeah.
You're using one example, one piece of pork. That's it. What else was in the bill? So it really comes down to, does the pro outweigh the con, or does the con outweigh the pro? And that's what people, by and large, in America just don't get. Oh, they voted in favor of blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but what else was in that bill? You're never going to know because they're never going to report it. And you could go read the bill, but it's thousands of pages long, and Americans don't really fucking care about that kind of shit.
Got anything going on for the next year? We peruse through this 4,500 page.
Exactly. Experts warn Americans how to prepare for looming economic crisis in 2023.
Great news.
Look at them eggs, folks. We got some eggs. What you want? Dre selling some eggs. What's up, Holmes? You want some? You want some eggs? You want to get some of these eggs? You know what I'm
We
saying?
sell them out of the back of a trunk on the highway.
We should do that. We should make a skit of like me just standing by a trunk, opening up like, what you want? You want cage free? You want organic?
You need some bacon?
You want some big eggs? You want some small eggs? You want brown eggs, white eggs? Bitch, I got it all. What you want?
These motherfuckers is double yolk.
Motherfucking double yolk eggs, bitch. That's two. That costs double. What's up? Bill Bonner went to law school. Bill Bonner. I'm sorry. That had to be a hard childhood. Bill Bonner went to law school with Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He's also co-authored 3 New York Times bestsellers, and he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs in America today, with more than 1,000 employees in roughly a dozen countries. We're telling you about Bonner today because he's made 3 big macroeconomic predictions in his career, each of which ultimately came true, though Bonner was mocked each time. And today, Bill Bonner has issued what he calls his 4th and final warning. If Bonner is right yet again, 2023 will be a year of massive change in our country. Bonner's first big call was back in the 1980s when he warned folks of the imminent Japanese stock crash. And that's before my time. His second big warning concerned the .com internet companies of the late 1990s. Bonner's third warning dealt with the massive bubble in the mortgage finance and real estate. Ultimately, all 3 of Bonner's big predictions came true. And that brings us to today. My other big warnings to date really only affected investors and homeowners in the case of mortgage crisis, Bonner said. The looming crisis I want to tell you about today, however, will affect everyone and in ways that will be difficult for you to avoid. If Bonner is right, this time too, and early evidence looks that way, it will impact not only your investment and savings, but so many other aspects of your daily life. And 2023 could be a year unlike anything we've seen in a long time. We strongly encourage you to take a few minutes to hear Bill Bonner's 4th and final warning. You won't find this information anywhere else. And don't tell me this is like an ad thing. It's a fucking ad thing.
Damn it.
Damn it, Breitbart. What the fuck is wrong with you? It does make a good point, though, as far as like, what can you do to protect yourself from inflation and things like that? I know people's 401ks are getting fucking hit like crazy.
Oh,
I can't even imagine. I don't even have a 401k. I just put all my money in savings. But if the stock markets crash and shit and you can't even get to the banks, that goes up. So it's kind of like, do you invest in gold? At the same token, it's like, but gold also becomes worthless because there's nothing to back it with.
invest in goats and chickens.
Now, I'm not, you know what? It's funny you say that because today on the way here, I thought about, like, what if I built a small little chicken coop in my backyard? I was like, didn't tell the HOA, but somebody would probably report it. That's why I just need to get a piece of land out of the HOA.
Service chickens.
They're service chickens. There you go. I could say that.
You know?
I could actually say that. Because I
Silky
remember I read
service
that article, like, I forget when it was, when we first relaunched the show, about that one veteran it was maybe the first time we did the show, when that veteran had the whole thing of like a bunch of service chickens. He tried bringing it on an airplane. It was a fucking service chicken. I'm not even shitting you. You're just like, really? A service chicken? Like that? Okay, a dog I get. Dogs are loving. They're intelligent. They're great companions. Why a chicken?
Personality.
You're fucking that chicken, aren't you? You're fucking that chicken. I know it. I know you're fucking that chicken. Give me eggs, bitch. I don't know. It's crazy to me. But yeah, at the price you're going, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts for fucking eggs. Because folks, the cost of feed went up, and they're baking it into the price point. Good job, Biden. Oh, Biden's, and you still go on Twitter, and it's like, dude, I really wish there was a way that you could just like, I don't know, find these, kind of like in Jay and Silent Bob, find some of these Twitters and just go and smack the fuck out of them.
That's all you want to do.
That dad, Brooklyn dad defiant, I want to beat the brakes off that cocksucker. Fuck him.
He's such a
douche.
Punk ass.
Him and that Joe cunt, whatever her name is. Like, so she's so fucking ugly.
Dude, I don't know how they keep popping up on my feed, but I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to.
Yeah, like, it's so annoying because they say things that are so blatantly wrong and they know it and they don't care because they're paid. Yeah. They're paid to do that.
Yeah.
The DNC uses them as their primary mouthpieces of propaganda.
Imbeciles. They're total imbeciles.
Total imbeciles. Just incredible. But California reels from endless storm onslaught that has left 14 dead. Relentless storms were ravaging California again Tuesday, the latest bout of extreme weather that has left 14 people dead and prompted evacuation of a star-studded town home to Britain's Prince Harry and wife Meghan Markle. I hope their home got fucking destroyed, you stupid little pricks. Fuck you. Fierce storms caused flash flooding, closed, and I like how this article mentions, like, oh, them, like, they're special. It's like, dude, fuck. Can we deport them, please? Can we deport at least him? We don't need any more little ginger cucks here. We don't. Like, stop. We've got enough. California seems to be the home of them. You got Swalwell, Pelosi, all of them. Fierce storms caused flash flooding, closed key highways, toppled trees, and swept away drivers and passengers, reportedly including a 5-year-old boy who remains missing in central California. And authorities were bracing for more rain and snow to batter America's most populous state. No shit, it's got to be Northern California. The snow. More than 230,000 California homes and businesses were without power as of early Tuesday, according to tracking site poweroutage.us. A fresh storm is set to pound the state with as much as 7 inches of new rain in Northern California by Wednesday and several more feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains, the National Weather Service said in a Tuesday forecast. The NWS described an endless onslaught of motherfucking global warming, I swear. What is... horrible. Horrible. Horrible.
Maybe it's just biblical plagues.
Could be. I'm waiting for the frogs. Once you see the frogs, it's over. Once you see the frogs and locusts, it's over. Piers Morgan, like, I don't care who you are. This guy, he's gotten some things right. He's got a lot of things wrong, but this guy is an avid subject of the crown. He will defend the crown to the death.
He is, too.
This dude loves him some fucking monarchy. Loves it. Loves it.
Rule me, daddy.
Rule me harder, daddy. I'll tell you what racism is. Piers Morgan clashes with Tricia Goddard over Harry's racism claim denial. Now, I kind of love the fact that at least Piers, in his whiteness, has enough balls to go up against these black supremacists and race baiters. I love the fact that he'll actually do that. But it's only in the context of defending the crown. He won't do it in other situations, but if it's next to something that Piers absolutely loves, which is God save the Queen and King Harry or King Charles, whatever his fucking name is, then Piers is kind of like, then he gets his balls like in a fluster. He's like, okay, I stand by. I should defend my king against your extraordinary accusations of racism.
His interview with Andrew Tate?
Briefly. I didn't see the whole thing. Why?
He got smoked in chess.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, like verbal chess or they actually play chess?
No, they played chess.
They played chess live.
Andrew, Tate, it's Andrew, right? Mm-hmm. Or whatever his name is, Tate.
Yeah.
He beat him in like 5 minutes. They timed it. That was the goal.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's impressive.
Well, I'll tell you what racism is, Piers says. Piers Morgan faced off with Tricia Goddard on his Talk TV show on Monday night over Prince Harry's denial that he claimed the royal family was racist. In an ITV interview aired on Sunday night, Tom Bradby questioned Harry, 38, over the claims that he and wife Meghan were perceived to have made during their Oprah interview in 2021 as they discussed a family member allegedly sharing concerns over their baby's skin color. You accuse members of your family of racism, Mr. Bradley asked. The Duke of Sussex, who's wait, hold on, I got to push pause on this real quick. Okay, can you imagine how the royal family must have felt with Meghan? Because here's the deal. After Charles, it's William. William's going to be king after Charles. Right. Harry is probably, at least now he's not. He was never going to see actual be king of England. Never. Unless something happened to fucking Prince Harry. Or excuse me, Prince William. So I can imagine how when William, or goddammit, Harry, brings home, isn't Meghan Markle like half black? Something like that?
I don't know.
Either way.
Something.
So I can only imagine the aristocracy of the British monarchy with in walks fucking Harry with a half black chick, like, oh my God, oh sweet Jesus, we're letting the help breed with us now. Oh God. So, Okay, here's a different thing. I watched this TikTok with this one black chick, and she was like, I don't date white men because I want to have a pure bloodline. And everybody's like, oh, cool. But if a white guy said that, suddenly it's racism. So it's like, I kind of get where the British family, but do I think the British family is racist? At their core, yeah, I kind of think they probably are. I kind of think, not outwardly display. Okay, so not necessarily racist, not necessarily prejudiced, but in a sense of like they don't want their people, they don't want white members of the family, the royal family, marrying black people. It's going to pollute the bloodline.
I just think they probably think they're better than everybody else.
Oh, 100%.
No matter what color.
Oh, 100%. Yes, absolutely. But I kind of see the history behind how the dynasties of the English monarchy, and you're just kind of like, yeah, they're never going to let a black chick in that close, or any other minority for that matter. They're going to have to keep the bloodline pure. Because this bloodline goes back how far? Since the founding of England,
several
almost?
Thousands of
Yeah,
years,
several.
I mean.
So they're going to let the bloodline eventually be, I don't want to say, in their terms, probably polluted is what they call it, but basically bringing minority and white or European together. So it's kind of like, I see their point. I see the point of black women that want to keep their bloodline fine. I don't give a fuck. That just means, hey, that's like historically based too for people out there.
I think you're just maybe attracted to your same race, or some people are attracted to other races.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's
Yeah,
not like, it just comes down to personal preference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
no,
you
I'm
like
not
what you
talking
like.
about. No, you're talking about something. No, I'm with you on that one. Yes, like for example, I'm not really attracted to Asian women. I don't find their facial features very attractive. There's just something I'm not drawn to. I have dated black women in the past that I thought were very beautiful. So it's like everybody has their own preferences, and I'm not knocking that. It's the left that sit there and says, so you wouldn't date a trans person, so you're a bigot, or you wouldn't date this color person, or if you don't like Asians, you're racist. Like, no, I'm not
Hey,
physically.
Bill, this guy doesn't like sucking dick. Bigot.
What's your problem? You don't like sucking dick?
Yeah, you guys are homophobe.
I can see that. But I don't see it so much as, it's more like the preservation of tradition. I guess I should phrase it that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think they wanted
It'd be like,
probably how
it'd be
William was set up with his wife, who was like, I don't know her background, but I believe she came from hoity-toity family,
probably,
right?
yeah.
So
they still
kinda
want to
like
keep it all in the family.
families that are.
That's probably why Henry is viewed as such an outcast. But I also understand the whole idea of preserving traditional bloodlines. Like, I kind of get that. But at the same token, why care about Harry? Because Harry's never going to be king. Who gives a fuck?
I know.
You're still going to have the solid bloodline of Prince William. I don't know.
I'm telling you, he's getting
I don't know.
uglier by the day.
Bro, I don't mind.
I'm just waiting for him to. I mean, shave your head at this point, right? It's like.
Might as well.
You're hanging on to it. Just shave it.
Paint them fucking. Oh, dude, yeah. It's kind of like, bro, just let it go. Let it go, Elsa.
Do something.
You might as well.
mean,
Well, his dad's the same way. Doesn't he have that like really bad comb over?
yeah, it's like shave it off or trim it up or something.
Something like, bro.
Like Williams, I mean, he doesn't look bad. I mean,
Yeah, but let it go, bro.
He's got a
Either-
little bit of a horseshoe there, but
Yeah, crop that shit off.
Yeah.
Just go bald, bro. Go bald. Which is weird because like, where did they get this trait from? Because Prince Charles is not fully bald, is he? No, he's got like that 1940s comb over.
I mean,
Is Prince Charles bald?
he's thinning.
Well, I
But
mean, how old is he?
He's like late 70s.
He's actually got a full head of hair. Yeah, he does. He does. Weird. But anyway, in an ITV interview aired on Sunday night, Tom Bradby questioned Harry, 38, over the claims. Yeah, I thought I said Tom Brady. I was like, wait,
Tom
what?
Brady.
Good
Pushing
for
into
him.
the Royals.
Good for him. He's like, fuck football. I'm going after the royal family on this one. Over the claims he and wife Meghan were perceived to have made during their Oprah interview. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you accuse members of your family of racism, Mr. Bradby, asked the Duke of Sussex, whose tell-all memoir, Spare, was released on Tuesday, replied, no, I didn't. The British press said that. Harry said that his wife did not mention that the royal family are racist, adding that he wouldn't call his relatives racist himself. Returning to his show Uncensored on Monday, Morgan 57 clashed with Goddard 65 over the Duke's response as she defended his comments. Goddard said, I didn't hear Henry or Meghan use the word racism. I heard you use it. I heard the press use it. I didn't actually hear them use the word, referring to their argument over the Sussexes. The Oprah interview nearly 2 years ago, Goddard continued, when we had that robust exchange of words, I do get fed up with other people, white people, labeling what it is and isn't racist to black people. And I get the same feeling towards you black people. I do. I get tired of you sitting there trying to dictate what the terms of racism are when you outwardly are displaying signs of racism left and fucking right. More so than any white person or group that I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Yeah. Never have I. And that's the other thing. Like, I'm out. People know me. They're not going to come cancel me. I'm uncancelable. You can't fucking stop me. So you're able to say these statements. I've already done this when it came to fat shaming, but it's when you try and walk that fine line of political correctness and you want to maintain some semblance of inclusion into that group of fucking retards. Well, then you make a statement like that, like what I just said, and they're going to cancel you. Folks, come on my side. Join my team. It's great. We have cookies, and we don't like trans people. It's awesome. If they did actually use the word racism, I would be agreeing. Morgan branded Goddard's response utterly ridiculous as he snaps back. I'll tell you what racism is. Goddard replied, oh, good. Let me get comfortable. Piers Morgan is about to lecture a black woman about racism. And that right there tells you everything you need to know about this woman. Yeah. Because in her mind, she's automatically the victim and nobody else can be the victim either. By privilege of skin color, you automatically classify yourself as the be-all, end-all expert on what it means to be a victim of racism. When in fact, we don't know anything. I don't know anything about you. But to sit there and say that a white guy cannot brief anything about racism, how fucking dare you? How dare you as a black woman sit there and try and basically victim shame potentially someone that has dealt with racism as a white person? I've dealt with racism. I had a black first sergeant that was racist as fuck. So black people that always come out there and say blacks cannot be racist, at heart, you are a black supremacist. That's what you are. You are a black supremacist because you refuse to acknowledge that your color, your people, cannot monopolize racism. Which, by the way, when we go back and look at historical accuracy of, say, for example, Africa, what were you doing? You were fighting, you were enslaving, and you were murdering and raping your own. So don't sit there and pearl clutch and virtue signal about how only black people know what it means. No, you really don't. If anything, you're getting fucking annoying. You're getting fucking annoying with this bullshit because you refuse to acknowledge that racism can exist in any group. So if you truly are bent on combating racism, it should be called out regardless of where it comes from. But we don't see that in mainstream media. No, sirree, Bob. No, we do not. It is always blacks and minorities that scream the loudest about racism, and whites are sitting here going, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know. I think we... by and large, we could all agree, like Jim Crow, segregation, all that shit that happened by the Democrats.
Yeah, by Democrats, 100%. The same group that these people vote for, which is fucking hilarious.
Was a bad time in history for America.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But, I mean,
we came through.
I feel like we're at a pretty good place right now.
Are we? I'd kind of like to go back to the 90s. 90s weren't that bad. We didn't have, or even the 2000s prior to fucking Bush's bullshit. Wasn't that bad?
I think everybody knows that everybody has a fair shot at just about anything in life. At this point in America.
Do we anymore?
Like if you're a black person or gay or trans
minority or you're
right.
You've got a leg up over everybody else. Yeah.
It's a good time for you. But I mean, as a white person, I'm not going to let anything else try to stop me from reaching my goals. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Listen to this. This is from this is a casting call from CWE Theater. It's local. It says casting call looking for a trans feminine non-binary actor to fill the role of Ramono in a 10-minute play for Short Works Festival. A trans feminine non-binary. What the fuck is this retardation? What is this dumb? What the fuck's a trans feminine non-binary? I literally.
You should go.
I'm not making this. I should go try it. My name is Jane.
Hi.
I like dick vag. Now you're very confused. You don't know where I'm at.
This is Chelsea.
Oh, my name is Chelsea. What's going on? I'm here to play the role of Romana. I don't have real tits, but I can go buy some.
Can we do this quick? My balls are starting to get a little tight from getting tucked.
This time pound on my ass is really uncomfortable. It's kind of turning me on, too. It's kind of weird. What the fuck is a trans feminine non-binary fruitcake? Like, what the fuck is that? I'm not even joking about.
That's what it is.
I know what. Transgender. I know what is trans feminine? A dude that's trying to be feminine, or is it because they also have to acknowledge that feminine is a character trait of women? They don't want to talk about that.
Making stuff up.
They're just pulling shit out of their ass. No pun intended. That's completely figurative. That's just so fucking funny to me.
Beads, gerbils, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Goddard replied, "Oh, good. Let me get comfortable. Pierce Morgan is about to lecture Black. Okay." Morgan persisted, "I'm about to give you an example of racism as a middle-aged white man who I know is the enemy to you." Ooh, I love that. An example of racism would be somebody expressing concern about the skin color of a baby from a mixed marriage race. And then the interviewer then says, if it was darker, that would be a problem. Yes, you may think that. That is an example of somebody's expressing racism. To you, Goddard highlighted. Wait, what? Morgan piled on, for you to shamelessly sit there and pretend that wasn't what they meant is utter bilge. He's actually right. They can sit there and say the word racism was never used, but the implications of racism accusations were there. Again, an example of racism would be somebody expressing concern about the skin color of a baby from a mixed race marriage, and then when the interviewer then says, if it was darker, that would be a problem. Yes, you may think that. That is an example of somebody expressing racism. And she says, to you, Goodard highlighted. Morgan again said, like I said before, for you to shamelessly sit there and pretend that wasn't what they meant is utter bilge. Goddard explained, if there were more black people in the media, they may have had the opportunity to look into that and explain it a little bit more. Are you kidding me? More black people, like more Joy Reids? Really? Is that what we need more of? What the fuck? More Whoopi Goldbergs? Really? And it's not just because they're black and stupid. It's because they're just fucking stupid. Because you got Whoopi Goldberg, who's countered with Joy Behar. Ignorant fucking twat.
Oh, God, she's terrible.
She's horrible. Like, she needs a man in her life to tell her to shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and keep your mouth shut, because all you say is dumb shit. Goddard explained if there were more black people in media, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we need more black people in media. You're 13% of the population. What the fuck you on about? We need more. Like, you look at commercials these days, like, and here's the thing, it doesn't bother me, but it's not an accurate representation. Because if demographics need to be accurately represented when it comes to commercials, like, folks, when we do shell shock CBD stuff, we look at my audience. Primarily, a lot of them are veterans. So it's like when you start looking at products to push, like products that you like. Extremely white. Extremely white. No, I got a lot of black people that follow me too. They're more conservative and they actually get where I'm coming from.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like skin color.
Well, no, it does matter. We have to acknowledge it matters in today's society. And you can sit there and you can,
to some people,
some people, yeah.
I don't care what color your skin is. I just want to be able to have a conversation and, agree on certain things.
I think it's less skin color and more political background. That should be like
the most important thing is.
Yeah, I think it's more political background. Like, where do they stand politically versus skin color? Yeah. Okay, I don't see it as racism, and that's why I got cross as you decided to label it racism. Dude, you just sit there and you look at that bullshit, and you're just kind of like, wait, what? It's ridiculous. I don't know if I can hear this. Can we hear this? No, we can't hear it. It's those two going back and forth. But for her to sit there and say, to you... Oh, so you're telling me? So what you're telling me there is that because of your skin color, you think differently? Is that the case? And if you think differently, how so? We need more black people in media. Oh, really? Do we? What about Asians? What about Jews? No, they're all over the media. Never mind. Hispanics. No, they have Telemundo. Don't they have Black Entertainment Network? BET or BET?
Yeah, they do. BET.
How much more pandering do we as whites have to do to give blacks and minorities their warm and fuzzy of like, please? I'm talking about, this is Democrats. I'm not talking about like black conservatives, minority conservatives, because they don't fucking care. They're like cool with it. These are black and liberal Democrats that I'm talking about, minorities that I'm talking about on the left. The victims, the self-made victims of their cultural issues that they created themselves. It's ridiculous. But... So, if you didn't see the story, this is a very interesting story here. The 6-year-old who used his mom's gun to shoot a Virginia teacher. That came out 2 or 3 days ago, I believe. She's not dead. She survived. She's okay. God. She's going to recover. Listen to this. Class is canceled at Richnick Elementary School through the rest of the week. A 6-year-old used mom's gun to shoot Virginia teacher. I can tell you automatically, those parents are guilty. How the fuck did your 6-year-old get your firearm?
I know, man.
How the fuck did your 6-year-old get your firearm? It doesn't matter.
I told you about my friend down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Like whose daughter's in junior high.
Go ahead and tell that story. It's an interesting story.
Yeah, so
true story, by the way,
her and her
folks.
friends were in Lakeland, Florida at junior high, and I guess her and a couple of her friends were in a classroom, and some kid runs in, throws a bag in the corner, then takes off and leaves. And then I guess a few minutes, 5-10 minutes go by, and my buddy's daughter is like, I'm going to go check it out and see what's in the bag. And so she opens it up, and discovers a gun in the bag, and she tells her two friends, and they come over, they kind of look at it, and one of them, I think two of them, like, touched it, and then they decided to take it to the principal's office, and from there, obviously, they called the police, and turns out the kid was going to shoot somebody. So
How old were they? 13?
Junior high age, I guess, 13, 14, something like that. Isn't that crazy?
That's
But his daughter probably saved a kid's life there.
definitely. Good thing they went and looked in the bag, because, I mean, this day and age, you just don't know.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that terrible?
It doesn't surprise me anymore.
It's junior high.
Yeah.
But like, where's this kid? Where did he get the gun?
Yep. But you look at trying to pull this up real quick. Hold on. Here we go. The actual article. The 9mm handgun reportedly used by the 6-year-old Virginia boy who shot his teacher was legally purchased by his mother, police revealed. Additional details about the school shooting that injured teacher Abby Zwerner, 25, were brought to light during a Monday news conference. The boy took the firearm from his home to school in his backpack on the day of the shooting. What we know today is that she was providing instruction. He displayed a firearm, he pointed, and he fired one round. Drew had previously said that the shooting was not accidental and had declined to elaborate. But he said he wanted to clarify the remarks he made just after the shooting on Friday, when he said there was an altercation between the boy and the first grade teacher. Rather, he said it was more like an interaction between the two before the shooting at Richnick Elementary School. Zwerner put up her hand in a defensive position when the gun was fired, and the bullet went through her hand and into her upper chest, Drew said. Although her injuries were initially considered life-threatening, her condition has improved, and she is currently listed as stable at a hospital. The police chief hailed Zwerner as a hero. Listen to this. This is incredible. For quickly hustling her students out of the classroom even after being shot. He said surveillance video shows that she was the last person to leave her classroom. She made sure every one of those kids were out of that room. She was the last one to leave after suffering a gunshot wound to make sure her students were safe, Drew said. A school employee reportedly rushed into the classroom and physically restrained the boy after hearing the gunshot. The boy became a little combative and struck the employee, Drew said. He was escorted out of the building and into a police car after officers arrived. Now, again, this is a child. 6
What
years
kind of gun
old.
was it?
9mm.
Is it a little bit shocking that he was able to?
It had to have already been chambered. That kid, there's no way that kid knew how to operate a firearm. All he knew was pull the trigger.
Jeez, man.
That's probably all he knew. Because I can tell you right now, a lot of slides in those freaking 9mm, depending on if it's a newer model or an older model, I don't see a 6-year-old having enough strength to rack around.
Yeah,
I just don't. Yeah, I
That's
don't know. So the mother probably kept the weapon loaded, as you should with any firearm. But also, you either keep it locked in a safe or someplace inaccessible to a fucking 6-year-old.
Yeah.
That's basic gun safety. But the problem is, now, please don't take me out of context here. This is a problem. The 6-year-old bringing the gun to school was a problem. But there's also a problem of now gun owners, responsible gun owners, are going to get blamed for bullshit like this.
Yeah.
That this mom, who clearly, I just don't get it. I just don't get how your fucking 6-year-old got your handgun. The boy has been held in a medical facility since an emergency custody order and temporary detention order was issued Friday, Drew said. He said it will be up to a judge to determine what the next steps are for the boy. He also said the boy's mother has been interviewed by police, but it is unclear whether she should potentially face any charges. Drew says the gun was legally purchased in New York County by the child's mother. It's still unclear. No, wait a minute. Hold on. New York County. It's very difficult to get a firearm. Very difficult. Like to the point where you either had to be a victim of rape. Now, I could be wrong on that. I know in New York City, you have to have a permit. And it's insanely hard, and they deny it a lot. Mm-hmm. New York County, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that one. But that seems very weird. I mean, the mother could have been a victim of something and bought the firearm for protection. Drew says only one round was fired, but multiple rounds were inside the gun's magazine. Authorities also seized a cell phone and a backpack from the scene. Gun owners can be prosecuted under a Virginia law that prohibits anyone from recklessly leaving a loaded, unsecured gun in a manner that endangers the life or limb of children under 14. A violation of that law is a misdemeanor punishable by a maximum jail sentence of 1 year and a maximum of a $2,500 fine. Virginia does not have a law that requires unattended gun owners to be stored in a particular way or a law that requires gun owners to affirmatively lock their weapons. Legal experts said even though this is theoretically possible under Virginia law to criminally charge a 6-year-old child, there are numerous obstacles to doing so, and it is highly unlikely that any prosecutor would even try. You're going to put a 6-year-old on trial? Like, come on. Come on. But hey.
Yeah, I know.
But hey. Send him to a drag show, right? Hey.
Now that we could talk about.
That we can do. We can do that. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I almost think the responsibility falls on the parent.
Wait, it says Virginia. Is this like a New York County? Okay, I'm thinking of New York State. This happened in Virginia? Hold on. Yeah, okay, so New York County. Oh, okay, this is in the state of Virginia. Excuse me. I saw New York, and I just thought the state of New York. So, okay, Virginia. Gotcha, that makes sense. Even still. It's a shitty situation. So I'm glad the teacher's alive. Glad she's okay.
Yep.
You know, she took a round through the hand and the chest. Speaking of that, you want to hear something so fucking cringe? You ready for this? This is going to freak you out. Not freak you out, but it's going to be like, what the fuck? Let me find it. Here we go. Listen to this.
As many of you as possible.
Listen. This is Alec Baldwin.
I would like as many of you as possible. I would like a really great surge of people to follow my wife on Instagram. Would you do that for me? Would you follow my wife on Instagram, please?
Ew. Fucking ew.
God.
Would you do that for me? Would you hand me that loaded firearm for me? Would you do that? Would you put it in my hand and pull the hammer back, please? Would you do that for me?
I know, man.
Would you just stand there while I point this gun at you?
What a pervert. What happened to him?
How is this dude still walking around? How is he still walking around? The 6-year-old, same fucking thing. He didn't murder anybody, but this douchebag has the audacity. I would just really like a lot of people just to see a massive influx of people follow my wife on Instagram.
How you say Instagram?
Would you do that for me? Would you do that? Hey, my wife and I saw you from across the bar, and we really like your vibe. Would you come follow us?
I know.
Would you do that for me?
Hey, does this smell like chloroform?
Fucking weirdo. That dude is so fucking weird.
Him and his weird wife.
They're all weird. House Republican files articles of impeachment against the DHS Secretary Mayorkas. Kevin McCarthy called for Mayorkas to resign in November or face an impeachment inquiry. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The left still owns the Senate, so we can impeach him. But it's gonna. This is gonna go nowhere.
You know, the guy is.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. He's a horrible,
miserable failure.
horrible. I'm sure Border Patrol would love to fucking string him up.
I mean, this like a total and utter
Douchebag,
failure.
yeah.
But that's just the Biden administration
That is
from the
the Biden,
top
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one person in that administration that is worth anything.
Who was it under? Wasn't it Mayorkas under Trump too?
Was it? I don't think so.
Was it?
Well, let's look at Trump's presidency compared to this one. And
No, I'm not saying. I'm not trying. I'm just trying to see. Like, was he there for the Trump administration? I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. Texas Republican Pat Fallon has filed impeachment articles against Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, delivering on a promise he made last week before the 118th Congress was officially sworn in. The articles of impeachment against Mayorkas for high crimes and misdemeanors, known as House Resolution 8, were introduced by Fallon to the House on Monday and have been referred to the House Judiciary Committee. It was William Barr. I'm sorry. Thank you, Matt Faze. It was Barr. My bad. How the fuck did I forget that? Who Barr even turned on Trump, which is funny to me. William Barr. Last week.
It's a deep, deep swamp. Yeah.
No, wait. Not AG. Hold on. Who was? Let's look this up real quick. Trump's Homeland Security Chief. Who was it? Houston, I just see an article that Dan Crenshaw comes up short in his bid to lead House Homeland Security. Yeah, he didn't get it. Who was Trump's? Hold on, I'm trying to pull up this article from Trump Homeland Security Chief. That was the acting Homeland. Oh, damn it. Yeah, Barr was Attorney General, yeah. Hold on. Former Trump Department Homeland Security Chief ordered. I'll have to look this up later.
Christopher Krebs. So he was there.
We'll have to look back. Was it Pompeo? I don't think it was Pompeo. No. All right, I'll look this up later.
Mike Pompeo was Secretary of State.
Yeah. The new articles of impeachment against Mayorkas for high crimes and misdemeanors. Is it crimes or is it just shitty at his job? Did he actually commit any crimes? I'm genuinely asking that. That's a good faith question.
I'd like to see the evidence.
I would like to see the evidence because I feel like when we clearly we make these inflammatory statements, it's like we are undermining the meanings behind words. Like racism, that doesn't mean anything anymore. So-and-so's racist, like, so what you mean is they're not liberal. That's what you mean. Last week, Fallon vowed to file impeachment articles against Mayorkas after the Congress was sworn in. The effort from Republicans and the House is one of many that the new GOP majority will take as it works to fight the Biden administration on issues related to immigration and the southern border crisis. Since day one, Secretary Mayorkas' policies have undermined law enforcement activities at our southern border. Fallon said in a statement to Fox News last week, from perjuring himself before Congress, okay, that's a crime, about maintaining operational control of the border to the infamous Whipgate slander against our Border Patrol agents, Secretary Mayorkas has proven time and time again that he is unfit to lead the Department of Homeland Security. I mean, you just take one look at this guy and he just reeks of bitch. He just reeks of bitch. Mayorkas looks like this is what happens. The Biden administration is staffed by nothing but nerds. He picked fucking nerds that get picked on in school that have this retribution about them. They want to get back at everybody. Look at Mayorkas. This guy's a fucking nerd. What a fucking geek. Justifiably so. I bet he got picked on a lot. He looks like a bitch. His willful actions have eroded our immigration system, undermined Border Patrol morale, and jeopardized American national security. He has violated the law, and it is time for him to go, Fallon added. While there is currently no text available for the impeachment articles filed against Mayorkas, Fox News reported last week that Fallon's first article alleges that Mayorkas has failed to faithfully execute the Secure Defense Act of 2006. The article says that the law requires the Secretary of Homeland Security to maintain operational control over the entire international land and maritime borders of the United States. The second article alleges that Mayorkas is in violation of his constitutional oath, willfully providing perjurious, false, and misleading testimony to Congress. To back up that charge, the article quotes Mayorkas' testimony during April 26th and November 15th congressional hearings in which he said the border was secure. Okay, so wait a minute. I get it now. I can understand why they're going to try and put him. I can see why they're going to try and impeach this guy in the House. If they impeach him in the House and they push it over to the Senate, and the Senate says no, it's going to make them look really bad. Because in the impeachment process, they're going to highlight how this guy actually committed perjury. Mm-hmm. To sit there and say the border is secure, like Karine Jean-Pierre did, like I said, there's no crossings of the border, and you can go down there daily and you can see the lies. Like, I'm sorry. When somebody is caught in a massive lie like she is, like Karine Jean-Pierre and the rest of them, they should be tried for treason. You clearly, because the hard part is proving intent. Yeah. Did they intentionally lie? Well, yes. With her being in the center of all these fucking briefings from the White House, you knew. Mm-hmm. You fucking knew. You fucking knew. She knew. Try these motherfuckers. But the problem is, justice, it's not universal. Justice goes to the majority. Yep. I hope Americans are starting to wake up and see that now. Justice goes to the majority of Congress. That's where your justice is at. And also, justice goes to who owns, and the majority of is in the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Think about if we had oh my God, thank the good Lord above, that we do not have a left-leaning SCOTUS. It's close, don't get me wrong. It's close, but I think that we still centrist right-leaning is what it is now. Yeah. Well, we have a black judge. We have a black judge. For the lady who said, we need more black people in the media. We have a black Supreme Court justice.
Who's sympathetic to pedophiles.
Sympathetic. They can't even describe what a woman is. But you got Clarence Thomas, who oh, man, y'all went DEFCON racist on his ass.
Oh, I know, man.
Fucking Uncle Tom, coon. Black people are some of the most racist motherfuckers I have ever seen. Go look at a Snoop Dogg comment section when they go after a white person. I've said this time and time again. Go look at it and see what Instagram allows, because it's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. But no, we can't say that. The final of the three articles charges that Mayorkas publicly and falsely slandered border agents who were accused but later cleared of whipping Haitian migrants in Del Rio, Texas in 2021. That was true. The 511-page report by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection's Office of Personnel Responsibility found no evidence that Border Patrol agents involved in the incident struck intentionally or otherwise any migrants with their reins, Fallon writes. Secretary Mayorkas slandered his own Border Patrol agents at the Texas DPS troopers involved in this incident, contributing to a further decrease in the already low morale among agents. During a visit to El Paso, it's almost like Democrats are just doing their best to destroy this country. Number one, leave the border fucking wide open, and then attack the very same agents that are charged with protecting it, lower morale, increase suicide rates, probably make the hiring process extremely difficult. The selection process is probably extremely difficult now too. So your numbers are just waning, and Democrats are loving this because now you've weakened the border that enforces all the rules and regulations that you're trying to do away with. And then Biden has the audacity to show his face at the southern fucking border. Kamala Harris too. That cunt. Good Lord. Well, actually, I don't think Kamala did go to that. I think it was just Biden, wasn't it?
She went to El Paso.
She went to El Paso. Okay, so yeah.
But nobody, they didn't go to the border.
Yeah, they just went to El Paso.
And then they cleaned up all the illegal aliens that are laying around
It's
the
a fucking
city.
joke. They didn't actually visit the border. They just visit El Paso, which is a border town.
No. That's
What a fucking joke.
Just checking that shit off of
Folks,
his list.
are you seriously sitting there? Like, liberals, if you listen to the show, God bless you, I don't know how you do because I can't fucking stand you cucks.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But you're sitting there and you're telling me that President Joe Biden is doing a bang-up job. He goes down to the border where we have just unregulated, it's just a free, wide-open range. They're coming across, and you're perfectly fine with us. Of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course you are, because you're fucking stupid. You are stupid. Joe Biden goes down there and he doesn't actually visit the border. Folks, you know damn good and well if this was the situation was reversed and it was Trump, you'd be saying the same thing I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
The only difference is I'd maintain consistency in my fucking beliefs versus liberals. You're hypocrites by and large, as a lot of Republicans are too. I won't even lie about that. But good grief. He didn't actually visit the border. He visited El Paso. And what did they do? Prior to him getting there, they cleaned it up.
Swept up all the illegals.
Get all the whites off the streets, all the white homeless people. Get all these men out of here.
Got him a scoop of ice cream and
Probably.
patted him on his head.
Everything
changed
looks
his
good here,
diaper, and
Jack.
Sent him back to D.C.
Yeah. But of course, liberals are going to hail this as this. See, Biden went down there. Are you happy? It's like, but nothing changed. Maybe if some of your relatives were gunned down by illegal Mexican fucking mafia members or whatever the case, this fentanyl, it's nuts to me. It is fucking nuts. And there's a difference. And fentanyl being people like taking it like voluntarily, or this shit being used to cut other shit, and they're putting fentanyl in it.
Yeah.
There's a difference there.
Yep. Either way, it's pouring across the border.
It's pouring across the border. Mayorkas on Sunday said he will not resign over his handling of the border crisis and insisted he will be ready for future investigations by House Republicans while continuing to fulfill his daily responsibility. Oh, that's a laugh. Your daily responsibilities? Mm-hmm. What is it that you say? What would you say you actually do here besides accuse your own? Dude, just from a leadership standpoint, that is the most ineffective horse shit of a leader you could ever follow or just have in charge of you. I don't get, dude, God bless the Border Patrol. I don't know how you deal with it. To have Mayorkas as your fucking head boss, bro, that guy's a fucking bitch. He is a bitch.
I know. That'd be a tough one to swallow. Knowing that
Swalwell would help
douchebag's
you.
up there, yeah.
Swalwell would help you.
He'd cradle the balls.
Kerry Lake eyes new way of getting Katie Hobbs removed from office. As Arizona's new governor, Katie Hobbs, that was a fucking rigged election. That was a rigged fucking election. And the fact that the judges wouldn't even listen to it, and you go find who and put those judges in play, come on.
Dude, that was like a third world election.
That was a fucking banana republic election.
You know, when over 50% of the machines aren't working and they got the wrong size ballots that they're trying
And they've
to
had
use.
years to prep for this. Years. There should be another election.
And this stupid idiot was in charge of getting all this stuff together.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
somehow she's the governor now.
Guys, I realize you've accused me of cheating, but rest easy tonight. I'm going to investigate myself.
Yep.
That's what happened, folks. That's what happened. Arizona's new governor, Katie Hobbs, marks her first week in office. Former Republican gubernatorial candidate Kerry Lake is renewing her call for Hobbs to be ousted from office. On Monday, you just look at these two different women. Oh, my God. Yeah. Katie Hobbs is just, atrocious.
Public Chili's got it right. It was an Obama-appointed judge that threw out her case.
Yeah, no shit, yeah.
Yeah.
On Monday, Lake's campaign's Twitter account said that the impeachment proceedings against Hobbs should begin as soon as the Democratic governor signs an order mandating the use of pronouns in state classrooms. Mm-hmm. Mandating the use of pronouns in state classrooms. The state It's getting compromised. Do you see what happens under Democratic liberal leadership? Now teachers are going to be mandated to use pronouns. Oh, please, he, them, zero, Xavier, whatever your fucking name is. This is blatantly unconstitutional. The campaign claimed. It's truly an exhausting feeling knowing that we were right and that the people of Arizona know we were right, Lake added, but that they were denied a free and fair election to stop this garbage from happening. Are we supposed to feel vindicated watching the state be destroyed like this? While Hobbs is not seeking to mandate the use of pronouns, there is a new Republican-led bill making its way through the Arizona legislature that seeks to prohibit teachers from addressing students by their preferred gender pronouns without parental consent. As the governor, however, Hobbs has the power to veto such legislation. Hobbs has now served as governor for a full week, but her opponent has continued refusing to concede and has maintained that she is the rightful winner of the election. Hobbs won by more than 17,000 votes. Bullshit.
Yeah. There's no way that.
No. There's no way
that
there is
idiot
no
got
way
that many votes.
Yeah, no. Come on, folks. And the whole fact behind the matter, it's like, well, you could also reason this is the same the Trump thing. It's like the judges didn't even look at the case. Yeah, who appointed the judges?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, folks. That tells you the condition of our country when even judges are no longer blind. Now they are biased and they favor.
Yeah.
Once that happens, it's over.
So,
It's
like,
fucking
where do you
over.
go from here?
I'll tell you where you go. Violence. That's the only way. That is the only way. The system is now rigged.
Who do you think will be which state do you think will be the first state to kick that off?
I will tell you this much. We've got about one or two more elections that if they go how Katie Hobbs' election went and Trump's election went or the Biden, it's going to happen.
Because
it's going to happen.
Those extreme leftists did that up in Oregon, right? They did it in Washington. And
it's going to take the right to start getting violent like the left does, and they're hailed for it. But this time, it's not going to be one of those things of like, just get violent. It's going to be violent, and you basically take it. You take them, and you say, that's it. It's over. We're done. We're not negotiating with you anymore. It's war. The dude, I'm telling you. And it's not like, I'm not looking at this from like, oh, this is a great thing. I'm saying that if this does not change, this is the trajectory America is on. If judges are so biased, if these people are so just leaning one way, one political direction, and justice is no longer blind, then the system is broken then. Then what are the people, why do they pay taxes? Why do they even have you? All you have is a tyranny by the majority. That's all this is.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that. Oh my God. This is what happens when Democrats get power. You can't even turn a blind eye to this anymore.
Really
it's here. But of course you see Democrats naturally will. Oh no, it was a free, fair election. Really? Really? Okay, do it again. Have the election again. But this time, let's make sure the machines are fucking working.
Yeah. There's
running out of paper.
A lot of shenanigans.
A lot of shenanigans.
Running out of
A lot of shenanigans.
No
Wrong
ink.
kinds of paper. Just come the fuck on.
It's like the dumbest stuff that could possibly happen.
Democrats running that election, running it into the fucking ground.
It's like she was drunk her entire career over there.
Bro, I don't see any other way. If the courts fail, what are you left with?
I know.
What are you honestly left? What is the other thing you can? I'm open ears on this. What is the other ways that you can go about righting the wrongs that have been made politically in the name of justice by these Obama-appointed judges like this? What is the other? I don't know. Nobody's going to say this because they don't want to. They're afraid of what's going to happen. But the truth is, when justice is no longer in favor of the people and it's now bias, I'm not surprised if you start seeing people going after these judges. I'm just not. What are you supposed to do?
They went after
I'm not
the
calling
Supreme
for
Court.
that.
They went after Kavanaugh.
Yes, they did. What happened to him?
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
These people went out there.
The guy, the one kid, the guy, he basically talked about he wanted to assassinate Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
What happened?
Nothing. They just
nuts.
It's all one-sided.
It's very one-sided.
At this point, it's
Democrats are ballsy, and until Republicans get equally as ballsy,
more than upsetting.
It's very upsetting, yeah. But I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
More than upsetting, just so these people can stay in power and tell everybody what to do. That's what
Pretty
it comes
much.
down to. They just want to be able to tell everybody what they have to do.
Yep.
Call him by his pronouns or go to jail.
It's just funny how the likes of, like, say, Stacey Abrams, they come out there and they're talking about how, it's only Republicans that say elections are rigged, even though Stacey Abrams and many others said the same fucking thing.
She never conceded.
She never conceded. Yeah. And then she says, oh, I never said that. I was like, yes, you did, bitch. Yes, you did. Suddenly, when it happens to you, you're upset.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't get that cunt. Oh, good Lord. All right, well, that ends it for today's episode of the All-American Savage Show podcast. Folks, hey, if you like what you heard, go leave us a review on iTunes. What are you waiting for? That actually helps us in the ratings out there. Look, this ain't the Charlie Kirk show. This is not the Turning Point bullshit, GOP established. No, we're independent. We do our own thing. We do the editing on this podcast, what very little we do. We do it all, and we don't get paid a dime. Nobody pays us to run anything. No ads, no nothing. That way, you can always count on the fact that we are never going to be biased in our reactions. We want to be fair across the board and favor whatever liberty pushes for. So you can always count on the fact that we're going to give it to you straight here. Unlike Swalwell, he'll never give it to you straight. He'll give it to you gay. So make sure you check that out. Again, go leave us a great review on iTunes. It helps us out so much. Share the podcast with your friends. That's really one of those things you want to do to help us out. Do that. Also, don't forget to go sign up for the free iPhone 14 giveaway by purchasing anything on the shellshockcbd.com website of $50 value or more. Go check that out. Again, shellshockcbd.com, $50 valued purchase or more, you're automatically entered to win the iPhone 14 giveaway at the end of this month. And next month, we're doing another giveaway. So we check the box on that one. Anything else we got to add? Did I forget?
I think that's it.
Was that it? All right.
I think you nailed it, buddy.
Until tomorrow, folks. I don't know if we're going to have a show Thursday because I'm getting LASIK done. Getting my eye fucking gouged. Hopefully I don't get blind. I'll come back wearing an eye patch. I'll be the cool version of Crenshaw. There you
Ouch.
Oh, no, I'm not going to lie. Seeing him he apologized for the little terrorist thing, which he should have done, but whatever. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. Appreciate you. Love you. You got anything to add, man?
Yeah, you guys have a great day.
As always, you stay savage, America.